Hello, all my beautiful souls, and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I'm doing a reading for the beautiful sign of Aquarius for the month of April. I hope all my Aquarius friends are doing well. Please let me know in the comments how things are going. I hope the month of April started out strong for you. I hope you have planted quite a few seeds so that you can tend to these seeds as the year progresses, because towards the end of the year you will have an abundant harvest to collect. That is always important to be aware of. As you know, dear Aquarius, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that may not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest for someone else. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today. Dear Aquarius, in the past position we have the Eight of Swords clarified by the Emperor. In the challenging position we have the Page of Swords clarified by the Ace of Swords. In the present position we have the Knight of Swords clarified by the Knight of Cups. Really good combination, and also the best combination in the spread is in the future outcome position. The Wheel of Fortune, the card of destiny, turns in your favor. It's your time to shine, and it's wishes coming true, because you also have the Ten of Cups in the clarifying position. So I feel like the worst is kind of behind you. You just have to do some work with your energy, with your frequency, do some healing, do some meditating, maybe take in a few sound baths, maybe do a little bit of yoga, or take, like a hike or a walk in nature to connect with Mother Nature, because that is a wonderful way to raise your vibration, to increase your frequency, because when you your natural vibration is actually high, because your higher self is, all about the source and everything that comes from the source, which is lightness and connectivity with other people around you. It's that 5D way of being, if you will. And we were switching from the habitual ways of living, in where we kind of get up in the morning and repeat everything, to a more purposeful way of living, where we don't get up and repeat everything, where we think what we need to accomplish, and we kind of are more strategic about accomplishing our goals throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. We are much more oriented towards our local communities rather than communities far away, and focusing that our garden is the best on the block, because everything starts from local. If you want to see the change in the world, you start local. And so it is important to remember to be in a purposeful mindset when you wake up in the morning. What do you want to achieve? Starting with checking in with yourself and making sure you maintain high vibrational frequency throughout your day. And also, you want to achieve your goals as well, not someone else's goals, right? Not live out of habit because someone else told you this is what you need, or that is what you need, if you will. Now, in the past position, we do see that you went through a difficult period, because we do have the Eight of Swords in the past, which is a card of feeling like you're not really sure which decision to make. You feel like you can't really make any progress. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like you are afraid, to move forward. And clearly it is because of the authority. The Emperor represents an authority. Emperor also represents someone who can be quite, difficult to deal with, because he's very structured and controlled. He's all about power, power, power. And so in the past, you clearly struggled with how to be more authoritarian, how to be more disciplined and structured in order to, kind of create the power and authority in your life that you wanted to see, in order to help you achieve the the goals that you have set for yourself. The good thing is this combination is in the past position. In the challenging position, we have the Page of Swords and the Ace of Swords. The Page of Swords definitely suggests to me that there may be a little bit of deception in the month of April, so make sure to keep your eyes open. There's a little bit of manipulation as well. And with the Ace of Swords, there's definitely some confusion. Clearly, there is an aspect in your life, whether it is professional or personal, where you are not as clear about something, where clarity is very difficult to attain. There's also miscommunication or deceptive communication that is happening. So you definitely want to make sure that you communicate very clearly. You may want to write down how you feel, because writing things down helps you organize your thoughts. When you organize your thoughts, when you communicate them verbally, they're far more sharp and they're far more direct, and they're far more like they have a better way of delivering the message, so that another person doesn't really kind of is confused about how you feel. You want to communicate directly. You want to communicate openly and clearly, so that you know what you want you can achieve, because the other person are receiving the communications that you give. Definitely there's a little bit of difficult energy with the swords. The Page of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Swords is definitely creating some muddy water. So you want to kind of step out of that energy, step out of that vibration, you know, and you want to get out of your head as well. Sometimes the best way when things are confusing, when things are not being communicated clearly, is just to take time out, because when you are able to step away from the situation, then you're able to kind of gain your strength back, gain your energy back. So do make sure to meditate throughout the month of April. Do make sure to drink plenty of water, and make sure that, you know, if other people are not really understanding where you're coming from, step away and rethink the way you're communicating and try again. But don't keep, you know, at it if the other people are not hearing you, or they're not understanding what you're communicating, or perhaps they're not understanding the reasoning. Generally, the pages can be messengers as well, so there may be some difficult messages on their way to you, where you may feel like you're not really sure how to take it or how to kind of provide a response, if you will. And with the Ace of Swords, definitely there may be a little bit of chaos happening. It can be in your professional situation or in your personal situation, but it's going to be temporary, because the swords are represented by the air element, and that's not going to, air moves pretty fast. It's not going to stay around that long. You know, the issues with miscommunications will pass within a week and a half at most. So it's not something that you need to worry yourself, you know, completely and absolutely. Now, in the present position, we do have the Knight of Swords, so you are feeling that something has to change. You are feeling that, you know, something about a certain situation or about a certain relationship with a person is not really making you feel that great. So there is going to have to be a change. And the divine here is saying you want to follow your heart with the Knight of Cups. You know, the cups are all about emotions, and emotions are all about, you know, the heart. The heart cannot fool you. So while your thoughts, your belief system, your mind is letting you know that something has to change, your heart is saying things will work out. Trust in the universe. You know, the universe sees everything. There's really no hiding, if you will, from the divine. So the divine is going to help you move things in the right direction, as long as you don't create too much resistance. Just go with the flow. Don't, you know, try to change someone else's mind. Just, you know, take things as they come, because everything will work out. You have the Wheel of Fortune. That is a major arcana card. It is an incredible card that brings luck, that brings fortune, and that brings in a way fairness as well. Things are moving in your favor. Things are going to work out for you. Things are going to bring, you know, emotional satisfaction and fulfillment. You have the Ten of Cups. That is the ultimate emotional satisfaction and fulfillment. Don't worry about the family that is on the card. For each and every one of us, emotional satisfaction and fulfillment is obviously slightly different, because the way we see the world is slightly different. And so for each and every one of you, you will receive the emotional satisfaction that is correct for you. But the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, for some of you, it may be a promotion. For some of you, it may be an unexpected turn of events in your personal life. Maybe a friend that you haven't talked to in a while will reach out and let you know about an opportunity that's going to work out really, really well for you. You're basically getting what you want at the end of the month. The divine is bringing a reward to you, which may come in different forms to each and every one of you. And I think you're going to feel really like it's all been worth it. I feel like you're going to feel like a huge weight has come off your shoulders, and like you can breathe again, and moreover that you can enjoy life again, because all of this sword energy, sometimes we think too much and create problems in our head because we overthink. We allow our thoughts to run away, and create more thoughts that don't really serve a purpose. Remember, whatever you think about expands. If you think about a problem, the problem expands. If you think you have lack of money, it expands. You have even less money. If you think you have no love in your life, it expands. It creates even, more not having love in your life. That's why working with your thoughts, in my opinion, is harder than, I don't know, laying cement or building a house, because, that is physically difficult work. You can feel exhausted, but how can you do all that work inside your mind? It's very, very difficult. Focus on positivity. Now, let's see what we can clarify with the Shaman's Dream Oracle cards. And we've got Repairing the Veil, Forgiveness, and Hollow Bone, Teachability. Very interesting. So we will begin with forgiveness and making amends. Between us all is a thin veil appearing to be a space that separates us. We look through this veil and believe ourselves to be distinct from each other. We assume that our thoughts and feelings are our own. We see bodies and objects and the spaces between them, so we engage the world in a relationship between a duality of us and them. This veil serves as a mysterious illusion, making it so hard to believe in our inherent connection and unity. We can't always remember that we do to someone else, we at the same time do to ourselves. What we do to someone else, we do to ourselves as well. When we claw at the veil out of fear, anger, jealousy, or resentment, manipulate another, misuse our power, or allow someone's actions to diminish us, we create a wound felt by many, not just those of us in the smaller direct relationship. Now is the time to examine where your actions have caused difficulty or harm to someone else, and also where you have been the recipient of harm. Regardless of what side you are on, it's important to take responsibility for healing this rift by bringing love, compassion, deep listening, and presence to whatever is not in harmony. Do this for you and for your own liberty, as you become an unwitting hostage once you take the role of perpetrator or victim, both positions of weakness. Let go of all your resentments. Know your part in the dynamic and make the appropriate amends with that newfound wisdom and understanding. Healing, forgiveness, and mending what is broken in your world is a sweet, much needed declaration of freedom. So it's important to remember that forgiveness is very, very powerful. Now, the hollow bone is all about teachability, humility, and being empty so that the wind of spirit can breathe through you. The hollow wing bone of an eagle is a flute for the shamans. The appearance of the hollow bone invites you to become empty of your notions of who you are, to check your ego at the door, and to know that this is not about you. Relinquish your need to be right and to express an opinion, as this will not change anything right now. You are being called to practice humility. Hollow yourself out and hear the wind blow through you and play you like a flute. You will learn the language of the squall and the storm and understand the message in the summer breeze. There is an important communication waiting for you. Humility is the swiftest path for you to become like hollow bone. Drop all notions and titles that bolster your ego, eliminate the doer, and allow things to happen of their own accord. Remember that you can accomplish most anything if you are willing to let someone else take credit for it. Hollow bone has come to caution you to believe only 50% of what others think and only 10% of what you think. Trust your experience, not what you have read in the sacred books or holy texts. This will allow you to turn apparent danger into opportunity. Remember that you are an insignificant grain of sand in the grand scheme of life and as important as the brightest sun. Definitely, this is a very, very important message. And actually, I will have to reread this quote many, many times. Hollowbone has come to caution you to believe only 50% of what others think and only 10% of what you think. That, to me, is difficult to wrap my mind around. Trust your experience, not what you have read in sacred books or holy texts. This will allow you to turn apparent danger into opportunity. Remember that you are an insignificant grain of sand in the grand scheme of life and as important as the brightest sun. You know, it's definitely a lot. Absolutely. I've never received this card. But it's a really good omen. You know, anything to do with the shamans is very important because they have an incredible knowledge, an incredible experience of this world in which we live, and an incredible understanding, right? I hope you enjoyed this reading, dear Aquarius. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Please check me out on Instagram, and thank you so much for visiting. I will see you next time.